Just a reminder before today's programme that the previous part of our Now Dance journey is still available for you to view, where we took a look at the releases that made up Now Dance 2004. And now, here on AMTV, we jump ahead a few years to take a look at the release known as Now Dance 2007. Hello everybody, it's Adam Martyn here and welcome back to another instalment of the Now Review. And this time we're continuing the Now Dance journey by taking a look at this release, Now Dance 2007. Now, before you now aficionados say it, there is an album that was released in 2005, I believe titled Now the Very Best of Dance. However, I have actually reviewed that already here on the Now Review, funnily enough. I reviewed that some time ago, actually. So if you follow the card link that should be in this video, you can go and watch that installment. So I thought since I've already reviewed it, I'll skip straight on to this release. So we've jumped forward a few years. As I say, there was a release in 2005. The last one you would have watched would have been 2004. And this, even though it says 2007, actually came out in the year 2006. So still technically continuing the yearly tradition. And there's only one release this time. They abandoned the two-part release strategy. So now we're really going with, we're releasing it in the year, but the title of the album is for the following year. So even though it says 2007, this really is sort of the best of 2006 dance, if you like. I never like that titling structure. I think the numbers should represent the year, that it comes out in, but that's by the by. But let's look at this cover. Look at this. Lots of blue dots, black background. They're still keeping the tube design, so big fan of that on the font. And you know what? I actually like this black background, blue dots sort of approach. I think it's really cool. Yes, it's very like techno and very of its time, but I think it's got a big charm to it. Like, you wouldn't miss this cover out in the shops, would you? I really like it. I mean, blue's one of my favorite colors, and you got the white of the logo mixed with the black of the background. Very good, very sublime, very great cover. But of course, we must now flick on over to the all-important track list, and we shall see what is on here. So, Now Dance 2007, you've got Rock This Party by Bob Sinclair. That was a really big song back in the day. Somebody's Watching Me, the Beat Freaks version of the Rockwell classic from the 80s. David Guetta pops up again, Love Don't Let Me Go, great song. You might not know the title, but trust me, give it a listen, you'll know exactly what it is. Lots of songs. There's Horny as a Dandy's on here, track number 9. It's quite risque for an album, wouldn't you say, I think? Call on Me by Eric Prydz, again, one of the biggest hits of the mid-2000s, I'd say. That was everywhere. And we finished with Lily Allen with a remix of LDN. She was starting to be up and coming at this point. So yeah, 22 tracks on this album. I recognise a lot more of this. I mean, again, when this came out, I was 11, becoming a bit more aware of the music scene in general. And I think there's, again, more of a pop leaning on this CD one, I'd argue. A lot of those songs I recognise were in the pop charts, and they probably crossed over from the dance charts as well. There are some songs on here that arguably are more of like the dance genre, but yeah, more of a pop dance balance, if you ask me. And now we move on to disc 2. You got The Loves on here. Say, 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 Waiting for You. That was a good adaptation of the Say, Say, Say song with Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Tell Me Why is on here as well. Again, a great adaptation of part of a Bronski Beat song. This really was the era 2005-06 of like using samples from classic songs in like dance remixes, and a lot of them were absolute bangers. A lot of them I really enjoyed. Lola's Theme's on here, track number 12, if you can see that there. Yes, lots and lots of great songs on here. Lots of songs, actually. That's 23 tracks. So this album actually has 45 tracks on it across 2 CDs. A very impressive roster, especially back then in 2006/7. So once again, that is your track list. And in my opinion, I'd argue there is more of a, how shall I put it, like a more of a pop dance balance than there was in the 2004 releases, would I say, which in my opinion were more leaning towards dance, which makes sense. This is called Now Dance after all. However, we shall now flip this on back around, take one more look at that gorgeous cover, and I will pop this open for you so we can see what the discs look like. Alright, so there is CD1, sort of keeping the minimalism from the previous ones, just the text there in CD1. I always like that design template for it, and it's got the nice blue text. What I don't like is, you can probably see it, the disc is very reflective. It's not one solid colour, so reflective you can see me in it. Hello. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the reflective design, to be honest, but look what's over here. Now Dance 2007 on your mobile. Visit the Now WAP site for real tones, games, exclusive competitions, and lots more. Text now WAP to this number. You look at that Nokia, man. That Nokia was in color. That phone was advanced back in the day, I'm telling you. Isn't it mad to think that literally 13, 14 years ago, which isn't that long, phones looked like this and were that small? That keypad, man. Oh, if you mastered the keypad, you were living the dream. I mastered the keypad back in the day. Just for reference, here is CD2, which has the same design, but the text is more of a navy blue. And look at this. Now that's what I call a quiz. Bigger, better, faster than ever. Oh, now it's what I call a quiz too. This was a DVD game. DVD games were all the rage back in the mid-2000s, weren't they? And it's out on the 4th of December 2006, which makes me think this album came out towards the end of the year, which makes sense. I mean, if you're going to call it the next year along from when it was released, it kind of makes sense that you put this out towards the end of the previous year. So that, in a nutshell, is Now Dance 2007. Is it the greatest dance album of the line? Well, not for me. I think one of my, my previous favourites I've mentioned before, Still Take the Rain, but this is probably one of my favourites so far of the 2000s lineup. I mean, there's a lot more songs I recognise on here. There's a greater strike between pop and dance, in my opinion. But again, it is all down to that preference. If you loved what dance music sounded like in 2006, all those samples, then you'll love this. However, if you aren't a fan of that stuff, stay well away. In terms of picking this up, this was released on CD, and I'm sure at the time it was released on download, maybe. I mean, you can get it on your mobile, so you can pick it up on CD for less than £1, as I did, less than one whole British pound, which is really great for collector purposes or reviewing purposes in my case. Or you can download it as well, and that, in a nutshell, is Now Dance 2007. And that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like on this video and leave a comment. Did you own Now Dance 2007 in your collection at the time, or have you picked it up later on? Is it one of your favourites? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time. A massive thank you to our producer and director patrons for your support towards us here at AMTV. You just help keep us going, and that's massively appreciated. And that does bring us to the end of another evening here on AMTV. We hope you enjoyed the programme, and we hope to see you next time. Good night.